happening now is that it's going to start recording. If I don't know any better, I better start talking and just saying,
Mm.
"Hi, I'm Dennis, and I am the owner of Man Up Life Coaching.
Mm.
And today, I am doing a recording with a guy who I have become fast and famous friends with." Stephen Mitchell. Steve, I'm going to go ahead and flip this timer, and this basically
Okay.
says we've got about 30 minutes together. So,
Okay. I got a thing coming up on my screen.
oh,
It
that's fine.
says this meeting is being live streamed. Should I just push
Yeah,
got it? Got
yeah,
it?
yeah. Just push got it.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Okay.
All right, cool. So, so look, this is just like any one of our conversations. The only
Mm.
difference is it's going to be public. So
Mm.
anything you don't want anybody to know, don't put it out there, because I mean, I'm just telling
Yeah.
you,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't go giving your credit card number out on this thing.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Okay.
So Stephen, I'm going to ask you some basic questions, and let's
Mm.
just you and I have just a chat. And if anything I ask you is too close to home, you can just tell me, I don't know that I want to say that. But
Mm.
otherwise, we'll just shoot for it. So,
Okay.
um, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 63.
Okay. And you're originally from you come from an agricultural background, is that correct?
No, no, actually, no. I mean, I'm originally from Indiana, but it's more industrial.
More industrial. Okay.
Yeah, the area that I was from.
All right. Um, how did you find me?
I found you. I was talking with my wife about some stuff and that, and she said, maybe you should see, maybe like, because my daughter sees one, okay,
Uh-huh.
a life coach, and then she said, well, hey, how about maybe you doing it, or you want to check it out? And I said, yeah, I mean, I'll try anything. So anyway, so she was looking up some stuff, and then she I guess she clicked on to your site,
Hmm.
and I guess, and then she just said, hey, you want to check this out? And so I said, yeah, okay, sure. So I went online, then I checked it out, I watched some of your promos and stuff like that, and just kind of what you're about and that. And I thought, yeah, this sounds like something that could definitely help me on how to deal with stuff and that kind of thing.
Right. Now, without getting too deep and too personal,
Yeah.
I think it's
Uh,
I think it's safe to say, um, so at 63 years old, I have younger guys. They're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s,
mm,
and I think it's really valuable for them to be able to look down the line. I mean, you're 63. I've got another guy who's 67. I got another guy who's 69. I think the real funny secret to being older is younger guys don't realize you don't really change in spirit. I mean, you're still kind of like the same goofball teenager you always were,
mm.
right?
Right. Yeah. No, no, I still feel that way in my head a lot of times with different stuff, like thinking, hey, I can do this, I can do that. But obviously being being older like I am now, it's harder to do some things, but I still try sometimes, but it's just a lot harder and a lot tougher. So it's, for being older.
But in terms of perception, I mean, I'm sure you
Mm.
remember being in your 20s and thinking that 60 was some old geezer. And now that you're in your
Yeah.
60s, you're
Mm.
like, "Wait a minute, man. It's a
Yeah.
lot different on this
Yeah.
from this perspective than it was, right?" So what's
Yeah.
that experience for you?
Well, being older like that, I mean, from thinking, I can actually remember thinking like that. Like, God, man, it's got 60. Man, 60 must be so freaking old. Because I remember seeing guys that were in their 60s and they looked really old.
Mm.
Now, myself, now, once I got past 50 and all of a sudden I hit 60 and I'm 63, and then I look at myself in the mirror and it's like, well, you don't look, you look older, but you don't look like like you're an old man, or at least I don't feel like an old man.
That's
Some
right.
mornings I might do it when I get up, but outside of that, I mean, I still got a lot of the same interests and stuff like that I did when I was a teenager,
Hmm.
and the kind of music and stuff I like to listen to, or just different stuff that I do and like to do. I've done like my whole life, and I enjoy doing it. So
I hear that. Now you're pretty physical. I mean, you work a physical job, don't you?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm an electrician, and so it's a labor intense type job. Not as bad as some other trades, but I mean, it's still, you're up and down ladders and doing different things like that all the time. But it's not too bad. So that's why I usually I still work out, not as much as I'd like to, but that if I keep myself active that way and stuff, that does help me in my job as well. So
Yeah. So,
yeah.
so 63 years old, still hitting the gym. Is that where you
Mhm.
work out?
No, actually, well, I'm not really at the gym much, really, but I started back with a friend of mine who's got like a home gym in his garage, which is pretty nice. So we've been working out there for the last few weeks again. Got started again after all the COVID stuff and ended here in California. They gave us 100% now. That
To walk
we
around
kind of get
without your masks and
yeah
all that.
yeah all that kind of stuff like that. So I've been doing that now, and it's a little sore from doing it, but it's like I feel a lot better when I do it. And I also sleep better.
Yeah, no, that's right. Well, if you don't mind my asking, I mean, how? I mean, you and I are both in San Diego. We'll meet at some point. But
Right.
how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Oh, are you? You taller than
Yeah.
me, dude? I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
5'11".
I'm 6'2".
Damn, I didn't know you're a giant. And
Yeah.
what are you doing in terms of exercise? Like you're moving weight around. Like what's your workout look like?
Well, what we're usually doing is like I don't do anything really super heavy anymore because obviously I can't, but I still do. I do some bench press, flies. I do curls and tricep stuff for my back. Do some stuff for my legs. Nothing super heavy, but I still try to get a little bit of everything on the body in order to kind of stay and keep everything kind of working, so to speak.
Right. I mean, I had my moment with weights where I was lifting real heavy. I think the heaviest I ever got was like 300 on bench, about four something north of 450 for deadlift, and something around 415, I think, for squat. But then, I by about 45 years old, I was like, all right, this isn't something I need to keep doing. I'm gonna start just hurting my body if I keep putting all this weight on it. So I started reducing the weight, keeping the same movement pattern, but just reducing the weight and making sure I had more sort of, I could do more reps, lighter weight.
Right. Yeah, and that's basically what I'm doing. Just because I mean I've been doing it for a long time, so I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. So and obviously with the only thing being now, well, one thing I will say about being older now like this is when I was coming up, there was no internet and there was no kind of information about a lot of stuff. So now is a great time for everybody, for that. I mean, because you can look up anything on the internet and you can get help with stuff, not just also with working out, but anything, you can find it, so.
And I agree with you on that. I saw your screen move. That's why I did this. I'm like, show me your hands.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. No, it's just there.
Probably a good segue. You're a fidgeter because you're a drummer.
Yeah, and I'm always
I mean,
I'm always my hands and feet are always moving.
Always
stuff.
moving.
I hear music and it's just second nature. It looks like I have some kind of nervous tick,
Yeah, I feel that.
But
I feel that.
So that's the way it is.
So you put your energy not only into the job, you put your energy into the job, you put your energy into working out. You also have a drum set on the way, and you're going to start drumming again, and maybe put together a small band. So,
right.
I mean, you're hell on wheels for 63, man. I mean, you're a problem.
No, well, I hope not too big of a problem.
Well, yeah, well, right. Well, that's kind of why we're here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. To keep it in perspective.
Yeah. So let's loop back to that. I mean, we don't have to get into specifics, but at some point along the way, people are in a marriage, and you can hit a little bit of a bump in the road, and I think that it's safe to say that you had a little scare in your own relationship based on sort of a poor decision. Nothing terrible, but he started going the wrong direction and had to be guided back a little bit.
That's right.
And so I think that happens sometimes when people in relationships kind of start taking each other for granted.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I think that you're at a point now where you're blessed in that you have a beautiful teenage daughter, you have a beautiful
Mm,
wife, you have a beautiful home, you have a beautiful
mm,
lifestyle,
mm.
and you're enjoying, as far as I'm concerned, a second romance that's been a long time coming. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's more than fair to say. It is. We've been talking about a lot of that stuff during the past few weeks like that, and things between us have been actually better than I thought they would. There was all it's like it was when we somewhat first started dating, but what it is now, we have all this familiarity with each other, and we got the years on us, so it's making it just that much better. So I'm really happy.
I'm not, my business is called Man Up Life Coaches, so you're not going to see me cry. But damn it, you got me a little bit.
That's
Because
okay.
no, I mean, I do get
Yeah,
emotional about this stuff
yeah,
because I care, and if I didn't
yeah,
care, I mean, what kind of coach would I be? But,
yeah.
I like to try to approach coaching from a logistics perspective,
Mhm.
but I can't help but get my heart wrapped up in it if it's
Right,
something
right.
like a guy and his wife. When
Mhm.
did how long have y'all been together?
Total, it's been, let's see, like 28 years.
Right,
28 years, and we're celebrating our this August. We're celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary. So, and
silver.
yeah. So I'm sure glad that I start getting everything straightened out prior,
I know. I
because
hear what you're saying. Yeah.
because it's
You wobble out, you come back in. I
yeah,
hear what you're saying. I can read
that's
the
it.
fine print. You're saying,
That's
I'm
it.
glad I didn't screw my marriage up just before my
No,
25th anniversary.
no, because that's pretty insane. I mean, that I yeah, I had just some weird stuff going on, I guess, in my head and stuff, and I just needed to get it all straightened out and stuff. And with the life coach deal, that's helped me immensely to do what I needed to do, and it helped me to understand why I was doing kind of what I was doing, and it made me see that, you know, that that I am a good person. And a lot of times, I guess maybe I kind of thought I wasn't for maybe a long time or whatever. But no, it's. I just think it's. I guess I just can't say it enough that I'm just more. Uh, I'm much more happy with myself, and it's just again, like I said, I got more control over what I think, and it's just it's just more of a phenomenal feeling that I have now, and I'm just so glad that I was able to turn things around, which I knew kind of the way they were, but I just needed help in getting there, you know. So
I'm gonna very carefully choose language here that doesn't,
mm,
put your business out on the street, but it's still
mhm,
relatable for somebody who might
mhm,
be in a similar
right,
situation, right?
right, mhm,
So I think we can safely say somewhere at about the 23 year mark,
mhm,
she's being a mom and a housewife.
mhm,
You're being a dad and Fred Flintstone goes to work, yabba dabba do and comes
yeah,
home.
yeah,
The girl is, God bless her, she's a little angel, and she goes and does her schoolwork and comes home and has her horses and all that stuff that she's doing. But so you fall into this pattern, and somewhere along the way, that the young man in you that hasn't gone anywhere is saying, "Hey, I still have emotional needs, although I
mhm,
feel weird talking about it."
yes,
Because that's like, as a guy, you don't talk about
mhm,
that crap.
mhm,
I still have physical needs, and
mhm, yeah,
I feel uncomfortable talking about that.
mhm,
And if those things aren't being addressed, and if she's sort of not showing you attention, then if it does happen that somebody in a text or an email or anywhere out there in the world of the internet should happen to pop their head up and show you some positive attention, it's
mhm.
easy to get lured into responding back to that
Yes,
crap a little bit.
yeah, yes. It was a boost, like, to my ego. It made me feel good. I just uh, it was yeah, it made me feel good. I mean, that's why I kept going back.
Right. And like I said, we don't have to identify any specifics, but every
Mm,
once in a while, a home wrecker will come along that's feeling needy and wants
mm,
attention, and will just pop up out of your path, some sort of
mm,
maybe old flame or whoever,
mm,
and they'll start saying, "Hey, remember me?" And then in your
mm,
stupid head, you're sitting
mm.
there going, "Oh, you got a dirty secret," and you're going, "Oh, hi, hey, what's going on?"
Yeah, yeah.
And when that happens,
Mm,
all of a sudden, if your wife doesn't know about it,
mm,
then you're going, well, what the hell am I doing here and why am I doing it? But you're doing it.
yeah.
So when that kind of behavior surfaces, which it's going to surface, wives are going to find out. Either they're
Mm,
just going to catch a vibe and say, what's
mm,
going on? My
mm,
intuition's telling me something. Or
yeah.
they're going to find your phone because you're a
Hmm.
dumbass and they're going to go, what's this?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm so tech savvy.
Because you're so tech savvy at 60
Yeah,
damn years old.
yeah, yeah,
So at that point, you end up da, 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 da,
yeah.
da, and you end up
Mm,
trying to explain. Now, look, I haven't cheated. I haven't done anything
mm,
wrong. But then again, I admit I was doing something.
mm,
I was moving in the wrong direction. And what does that really do? It acts as a catalyst to talk about what's really going on. And what's really going on is the couples really do need to have preventative maintenance to keep themselves from
mm.
drifting apart. And y'all didn't have that. It wasn't built
Yes.
into your dynamic.
Mm, yep.
So, what we did when you and I got together is you came to me sort of one of these, Father, I have sinned. Well,
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not completely,
Yeah. Not really. Just
not in a completely sin, but I'm definitely moving in that sinning direction.
right.
So, and it came out. And now I feel a little sheepish, and I want to just
Mm,
get redirected.
right.
So there was a lot of guilt on your heart.
Mm,
Not not that you did something wrong,
yeah.
but that you were facing the wrong way.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't. That's the only thing is I didn't feel really real guilty. I kind of felt more of that. I was that once they found out and stuff that it was hurting there, and I didn't realize that she actually still cared for me that much. So once that did, and then once this thing started kind of going and that, and then kind of off and on a little bit for the last year or so, and then finally, then we actually separated over this for a while. But then after a while, I just decided, I actually went and I saw this person, and I just decided right then, it's like, no, what am I doing? This is nuts, man. I haven't seen this person in so many years, and I'm gonna throw all this here away just because I'm not getting something that I think that I need when I should be asking her for it. And if I can't ask her for it, then what I need to do is find a way to help me ask for it. You know,
Communication, right?
exactly. And that's one thing that we've always had a little bit harder time on. Now, I admit now it's like it's a hell of a lot better now. I mean,
Mm.
we're both into talking a lot more about stuff and that, and trying to help each other out more. And it's like an awakening that we've had with our relationship, and it's really good. So I got
So
to keep it going.
so what foundational changes do you feel that you've made as a result of coming into the coaching progress that have helped to facilitate this um, relationship renaissance?
Well, I think for me, it's been the way I explained it, like for a while, like I was kind of in a fog. Okay, I was kind of in a fog, and I didn't quite understand what was going on with me. I kind of knew, but then it's like, you know what? Once I started talking with you and stuff, I mean, I had to have another outlet of somebody that is like me, another male counterpart,
Yeah.
that, and plus that you've had experience and training and stuff, and with this kind of situation, and that was a lot better for me, because then I could relate a little bit more, and then you could relate to what I'm telling you, to
Mm-hmm.
where you can give me suggestions on stuff which would definitely help me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where That's what it's done for me. I mean, I feel like I got a lot more control over stuff now, and I understand why more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's done to help me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said a mouthful there by saying, I mean, you can go to your male friends and tell them, hey, look, man to man, you know, hey, has this ever happened to you? I feel like my wife's kind of, ignoring me, or I feel like I'm really looking for some physical and it's just not there. Or I feel like I mean, I almost feel stupid saying this, but I feel like I want like more of a girlfriend boyfriend relationship than this like old man old woman freaking relationship. Like that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
That what do you think? And your friends might be well intentioned, but you don't know what kind of baggage they're bringing into their advice that they offer you. So a lot of times you really can't trust it.
Yeah, no, that's true too. I mean, I know that because I had a friend. I talked to him a little bit about it, and he goes, "Well, I don't blame you for what you're doing and stuff like that. I mean, I understand that, but then it's like, well, yeah, okay, that's fine. I guess I was trying to have somebody tell me that it's okay for what you did, or what you're thinking you're going to do. But then when it comes down to it, I just wound up realizing that what I want has been right in front of me, and I just have to know how to open the door back again and get through and talk to her about it. And that's what's happening now. And a lot of that has to do with, most of it has to do with what I've been experiencing with my sessions with you, and that, which has helped me do that. And that's like, there's no amount of money that you can give somebody that would help that. It's just like it's priceless. The information that I've gotten and what I've been able to do with it up to this point. And I'm just thankful that I was able to have an open mind in order to do this, because a lot of people, a lot of times they don't want no help, or they don't think they need help. But I'm more of a person that, hey, well, this makes sense to me. This makes sense to me, and I understand this, and it helps me to understand it. So.
Yeah, and I have to say I really appreciate your validation of my program. I mean, let's be honest. I'm 50. You're 63. You're 13 years older than I am, and for you to have the humility to work with a younger guy and trust that a younger guy might have a solution for you, and to just have the trust. I mean, granted, I have my it's not like I've worked with, I go, I'm 50, I go to doctors that are in their freaking late 20s and early 30s, and I have to remember that just because I might look at them as a kid in some ways, they still know something I don't, so I have to respect their pedigree in this lane.
Exactly.
But life coaching requires a certain amount of wisdom and life experience and perspective. So you took a chance coming to me and saying, all right, let me see if this guy's got something for me. I took a chance, as I always do, because I always feel shy working with somebody who's older than me, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? No, you get it, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. But like for me, sometimes it's always been like easier to talk to somebody else about your problems than going to the person that you really need to be talking to. But with what I've accomplished here, it's helped me to work and do that better with my wife.
That's right.
And that's what I was wanting to be able to do. And she's on board for a lot of it, and she understands a lot more stuff now too, just from a lot of stuff we've talked about. And obviously we've read some other books and stuff like that. Anything to try to to help out. And and we're just like we're starting to mesh. We're starting to mesh a lot better, and I'm really happy about that. So
I love that. And you know what's funny? I was discussing the age piece, but age really, as we said in the beginning, age has so little to do with the reality of the situation. Is the same advice I'm giving guys in their 20s and 30s is the same advice I'm giving guys in their 40s and 50s, and I'm giving guys in their 60s. And now I got a client who's pushing 70. He's about to, his odometer is about to flip, and And
Okay.
it's the same advice. It's
Mm,
basically it's funny that we could get this far in life and still somehow have missed the memo that in your typical heterosexual
mm,
male female relationship, there
mm,
are these major blind spots that
mm,
have to do with how what her needs are, what her love languages
mm.
are,
Yes.
and how she communicates and processes emotions
Mm,
versus who we are, what we need, what our love
mm,
languages are, and
mm,
how, as males, especially those of us who are knuckle draggers like myself, have a right, have a tendency to make these
mm,
stupid, typically male mistakes. Here's a classic one.
mm,
She's trying to share her feelings, and we're saying, "Oh, well, I'll tell you how you fix that."
mm,
She didn't ask for a solution. She asked for you to listen.
mm.
And you say, "Well, I am listening. I could repeat everything you just said." And she says, "That's not what I mean by listening."
Yeah.
What she means is, and I call it smell the milk. What she, somebody smells the milk and says, "Oh, that smells off. Here, smell it." And you're thinking, "Well, why
Mm.
the hell would I want to smell that if it's bad?" I'll I'll
Yeah.
take your word
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she's like, "No, no, smell it, smell it." And then
Mm,
you smell it and you go, "Oh, that is disgusting." Yeah. She's like,
mm.
"Right?" Well,
Right.
that's what women do. I mean,
Mm,
again, not I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule, but quite typically in typical heterosexual male female
mm,
relationships, when a woman says, I want to tell you something that happened in my day or whatever, your job is to say, "Yes, I'm here to listen." And
mm,
she pulls that string and starts ba 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 ba, and firing off everything that bothers her. And your responsibility is to say, "Yeah, I hear
mm,
you. Okay, go
mm.
on. And how did that make you feel?" "Oh, really? Oh, yeah." And your job is, to the best of your ability, to be taking that emotional ride. If she's up, you're up with her. If
Mm,
she's down, you're down with her.
mm,
She wants you to feel everything that she felt and is feeling.
mm,
And if her problem is with your relationship, then she's going to tell you things that are going to hurt your feelings.
mm,
And she wants you to be man enough to say, "I understand that even though the stuff you're saying may not literally be true, like you're telling me I always do the
mm,
laundry and you never
mm,
do the laundry or whatever.
mm.
I always take out the garbage and you never take out the garbage." Well, she's exaggerating.
No.
But instead of nitpicking of saying, "Well," and defending yourself, "Well, that's not true. I took the garbage out last night." Your job is to say, "I understand that that's how you feel." And your job is to validate her feelings.
Mhm,
That change in how we communicate, whether it happens at 20 or 70, is a pretty important change in the way you communicate, because you're starting to validate how she processes and experiences life. And then that gives you
mm,
ground to stand on, so you can say, "Well, here, let me
mm,
show you who I am
mm.
and how I experience life." Have you found that?
Yeah. 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 No, I found it just from obviously, well, obviously from reading a few other books and stuff like that that you suggested, that where
What, the Mars
like,
Venus? That
yeah, the Mars,
metaphor?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that one there, and also the other one about the five love languages.
Mhm.
That thing there, and that's been pretty helpful because I can a lot of things I can kind of relate, especially in the Mars and Venus book. It's like, okay, well, that helps me when she tells me stuff, that okay, this is what she's really telling me. Like, okay, so okay, okay, think a second, how are you gonna respond? And then then respond. Kind of figure it out. So
And
that's and.
you just said a thing there. You said, "Listen to what she says,
Mhm,
think a second,
mhm,
how are you going to respond?" There's two things that happen there.
mhm.
One, you thought before you responded. And
Right.
that's completely different than having an impulsive reaction, which is what we as guys have a
Mm.
tendency to do when we communicate and we don't like something we're hearing. We
Yeah.
react.
right, where we'd be a little bit maybe more like on the defensive side about it, or trying to justify what it is that we did, So that's some of the stuff that's making our relationship now a lot better. I mean, and I like coming home now. I mean, I like coming home. I like seeing her, and it's been a long time since that's been like that. I mean, I like going out with her and stuff. We've been going out a lot more now, just the two of us and stuff, and it's just a lot better, and I'm so happy about it.
So it's kind of like you're dating.
Yeah, it's like it's like we're dating, except now, like when we're dating now, at least have some money.
Yeah,
Not,
right. That's when people look down the road and they're like, they say, "What's it like being older?" I'm like, "It's like being younger, but with money."
exactly, because I got pretty much everything's kind of got. I've been planning for stuff and that and so I'm getting ready to hopefully retire in another 2 to 3 years. So so we're starting to look at stuff after I retire and that on what we're going to do and how we're going to do things and that. But we're again our communication is so much better. It's so much better now, and I just it's like night and day from what it was a year ago. And sometimes I can kick myself in the butt. God, I wish I'd known this then. But I'm glad that I know it now. So, and I usually don't really have any regrets because everything that I've done up to this point has gotten me here, regardless if it's good or bad. So I sit there and I listen. I take whatever I did was bad and or good, process it, and then just move on from there. And it's just life experiences that help you to do better. So.
That's right. Well, I have to say, in the short period of time that we've been working together, it's not been that short, but I mean, in relatively short period of time that we've been working together, it's been such a blessing to be able to participate in the rebirth of your relationship, and I'm so happy to watch you celebrate romance in your life. And as we continue to move forward in our dynamic, man, I'm just hoping that we keep having more and more successes. So on that note, if you could leave as we close out here, if you could leave somebody watching this, let's say somebody's watching this and they're on the fence about using a male life coach to help them with a communication problem that they're having in their relationship, what would your advice to them be based on your experience?
I would tell them, I said, you know what, if you're at this point in your life, and as long as you realize that you need help or that you could use help, then get help. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, I swear by it, 100%. I would tell my friends, if they're having problems, hey, go and talk to this guy here. I mean, he can he might be able to set you on a good path or whatever, help you understand how things work, because everybody's got different life experiences and stuff. And so everybody's a little bit different. So, but a lot of the stuff that he talks about and stuff is stuff that everybody can relate to. And that's what's good. It's not like, you don't have to sit there and think, well, maybe there's something wrong with me, just me. But no, there's 20 other guys that got the same freaking problems like I've had, and you just need, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help. And if you don't ask for help, then you're really kind of an idiot, because there is help there for this. And with Dennis here, I mean, you're getting a great coach and somebody that understands and will help you out. So, I mean, for me, it's been really great for me. I mean, that's all I can say. For my personal experience with Dennis and that, it's been, I swear by it. I mean, I wish I would have had the foresight and stuff to be able to done it earlier in my life, but I'm glad that I've done it now, because it's just it makes everything the way that I really thought it could be, and I just needed to find out how to do that. and he's put me on the path to be able to do that. So I really appreciate that, and I really thank him for that. So
Oh man. Well, look, on that note, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and close this live recording out, and then you
okay,
and I'll finish privately. But
okay,
hey, if you've been listening to this, and if you're feeling what Mr. Steven here is putting down, feel free to hit like, because I love when people like my stuff. Feel free to subscribe so you can hear more client stories from guys of all different ages and all around the world, really. And if you are having problems in your life and you think maybe a chat with me could help you out, go visit me on manuplifecoaching.com. Thanks, guys, and I'll talk to y'all soon. So let's go ahead and stop.